Hi friends, I am Sajid here. Welcome back to my channel SciTech. In this video, I'll be comparing the Realme 7 Pro versus the Redmi K20 Pro device. This was a recently asked question that which phone to buy, Realme 7 Pro or the Redmi K20 Pro. The reason why the question was asked many times recently because the price of the Redmi K20 Pro right now it got decreased to the 23,000 as you can see clearly in the Flipkart. And the Realme 7 Pro got launched for about 20,000 to 22,000 as you can see. So which is a quite very close range to the Redmi K20 Pro device. So Redmi K20 Pro was the 1 year old mobile. This was a question asked by most of the users. Is it worth to buy the Redmi K20 Pro over Realme 7 Pro, or is it better to buy the Realme 7 Pro which got launched recently? So in this video I'll be covering various topics. I'll be discussing which phone is the best in all of the segments, even for long-term usage as well, which phone is a ideal situation. I'll try to explain in this video. And meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also do check out my recently uploaded videos on various smartphones and even the playlist for the important information about all of these smartphones. So the first thing is that in terms of the processor. So one thing friends, if you want to use the phone for the next 3 to 4 years, and if you're using the phone like medium to heavy kind of usage, I would highly recommend to buy the Redmi K20 Pro only, because the Redmi K20 Pro has Snapdragon 855 processor. Even though the phone is 1 year old mobile, but still this is very powerful than the 720G processor. So this is very powerful. So trust me, these are quite double the standards of this processor which is found in the Redmi K20 Pro device. So in terms of the performance, so there is no other option. This is the Redmi K20 Pro is the best you got for this budget range, and this is the lowest Snapdragon 855 processor for this kind of price range. For 23,000 rupees, this is the cheapest Snapdragon 855 processor you can get right now. So in process segment, definitely the Redmi K20 Pro is the best option. But in case if you want to use the phone like normal usage, just for making calls and normal occasionally entertainment purpose, then definitely the Realme 7 Pro should do that task every day. So next is in terms of the display. So in terms of the display, both are kind of okay I guess, but one advantage with the Redmi K20 Pro is that you do get a full screen experience as you can see, so which is very good in terms of the full screen experience without this kind of any punch hole disturbance on the smartphone. Even the bezels are very slim in the Redmi K20 Pro only, and it looks very compact and small size, 6.3 inches. And in terms of the refresh rate, the both phones are pretty good. So there is no high refresh rate, 60 FPS only supported right now with both of the smartphones. So overall both phones have the Super AMOLED panels, but I do like the Redmi K20 Pro's Super AMOLED panel. And as you can see the Redmi K20 Pro, so there is some software tricks where you can actually do by using this kind of different styles as you can see. So where you can change the different color saturation modes in real time in the Redmi K20 Pro device. So there are so many advantages in the Redmi K20 Pro display when you compare with the Realme 7 Pro's display. So that's why I prefer the Redmi K20 Pro display, but both are pretty good close to each other in terms of the display. So next is the battery. In terms of the battery, the Realme 7 Pro has got advantage 4500 mAh of battery with charging speed also very advantage 65 watt fast charging. So which is very good fast charging I guess. So definitely the 65 watts is super far ahead of this 18 watts charger. The phone takes around 1 hour 20 minutes to full charge using the default charger, whereas the Realme 7 Pro only takes 34 minutes. So that's a huge difference between both of the smartphones. Even in the battery, 4500 versus 4000 mAh. So you will be getting a little bit more battery in the Realme 7 Pro smartphone. So next is in terms of the build quality. The things which I like about the Redmi K20 Pro is that you do get very good compact screen, 6.3 inches, and single hand usage is easily possible in this smartphone. So I did not have any issues in terms of the build quality. You do have pop-up camera, so which I'll be using so many times in terms of unlocking the phone using the Face ID unlocking. So till now I never had any issues in terms of the Face ID unlocking, so it's pretty good. So overall I do like the build quality, but there is no dual speaker setup, so which is found in the Realme 7 Pro. So you do have stereo speaker setup in the Realme 7 Pro, dual stereo speaker setup as you can see, Dolby Atmos dual stereo speakers. But in the Redmi K20 Pro there is only bottom facing speakers, so that is another disadvantage here. So overall in terms of the build quality, both are having advantage and disadvantage. So I do prefer this kind of having dual stereo speaker setup in the Realme 7 Pro device. So overall, in terms of the pricing, so finally friends, in terms of the pricing, there is not much difference, as I said. So there is only difference of 2000 rupees between all of these variants. So that's a very close range. So for this close range, the Redmi K20 Pro will be the best option only if you are caring about the processor. So if you want a very good processor and fast processor without any problem, then you can buy the Redmi K20 Pro device. So if you are normal user, you uses a phone with normal calls and text messages and occasional YouTube and Netflix and normal small games, then this should be okay for the Realme 7 Pro device, because Realme 7 Pro has got plenty of other advantages, even in the camera as well. I forgot to mention the camera, but in camera also the Realme 7 Pro has got very good advantages. Second generation 64 megapixel lens when you compare with the 48 megapixel lens. So the Redmi K20 Pro has got only one advantage, that is a processor, Snapdragon 855 processor, and second advantage is a display with compact size. So that is also another thing you need to know, and build quality, which looks pretty good, gloss and design on the back side. So these are the few differences, but only the processor is the biggest difference which makes to buy the Redmi K20 Pro. So if you don't care about the processor and if you are happy with this Snapdragon 720G, then the Realme 7 Pro is also another best option, because you do get very good battery, fast charging, dual stereo speaker setup and less price, and you're getting same Super AMOLED display, same thing in both phones. So and expandable storage as well, as you can see, three slots. So that is also another advantage, expandable storage in the Realme 7 Pro device. So that's it friends, this is a quick comparison between both of the smartphones. I hope this video will be helpful for most of the users if you are confused to buy which phone and why. So this will give you a clear idea which phone to choose. So always choose according to your needs, all of this. So if you want best processor, then choose the Redmi K20 Pro. If you want the best display with dual stereo speaker setup, then choose the Realme 7 Pro device. And if you want better charging and fast charging as well, then select the Realme 7 Pro. So nowadays most of us into the fast charging category, then definitely you should have this 65 watt fast charging to get for next 2 or 3 or 4 years as well. So definitely 65 watts fast charging is a good option in the Realme 7 Pro, but only problem is with the phone is only the pricings. So price of this phone is very high, so that's what considering from some of the users whether to buy this phone or spend an extra little bit of thousands and get the Redmi K20 Pro or the Realme X2 Pro device. So that's it friends, this is a quick comparison, and for more videos make sure to subscribe to my channel iTech Guru. So see you in the next video. Until then, bye.